What's up, y'all? Oh my gosh. This is just a touch of Jay's vocals. Yes, man. This is just a touch of Jay's vocals, baby. What are y'all out there doing? So look, I'm over here talking to God. Yo. And God's over here talking to me, yo. And God just dropped a dime on me. Yup, let me tell you what happened. So I'm in here chilling. This is a deep one, y'all. I'm in here, I'm just chilling. Right? It's rainy out, and I'm just like, I'm chilling, got in the shower and all that. And you know where it started. It started in the bathroom. I don't know why God keep coming to me and look, while I'm in the bathroom. But anyway, I was rubbing this oil all over my body, right? I had just got out of the shower. I was making this egg bacon stuff, right? Yeah, always multitasking. And I'm over here, at the other house. Shout out to God for giving me 2 houses. Yes, child, this thing is just something else, child. I'll tell you, look, I'm in my room. The room with the 100 scriptures, y'all. Yeah. And it's just like all these accolades, like everything I've done, like thus far, is surrounding me. Yo, it's just like the dopest thing to be in. It's just like feel like heaven and just success. Like, whoa. It's just so crazy because, Mom been out here doing things, It been a whole 12 months. Yeah, I'm about to drop dimes on y'all. I've been dating everything for like a whole year for y'all. Yeah, I've been putting it out there in pieces for you, baby. Like just on different social media. So y'all go find the dates and do this when I tell you to do that. And, I took a year off from the mobile app, a little bit more than a year off from podcasting. But I was still recording the episodes. Y'all just haven't gotten them yet. Yeah, so it's been like a year. Like God just been had me just chilling. So anyway, he's been talking to me because, it's time for the boyfriend thing. God said it's time for this thing, Sharing on vocals for a little bit, just a little something. Give him just a touch of J, not too much, right? So I'm like, okay, God, look. So I'm looking at myself. I'm in the bathroom rubbing oil all over my body. And I'm like, dang, my body is really like crazy. Have y'all seen my abs? Like, yo, these things is a whole 6-pack. I'm like this. I'm like, yo. And then my ass, I have to say that. My butt cheeks, my gluteus. Yes. I don't even know what happened. Like, I can't even tell you because I be looking like, but I guess, because it's just set up so right. It's just so right. And I remember when God had told me, he was like, I'm going to give you a booty butt cheeks, booty butt cheeks. Yeah, that's what he told me. Make sure y'all go look that up on YouTube. Yeah, from the cartoons, Boondocks. I love cartoons, y'all. Yeah, I love cartoons. Not like the anime cartoon. I mean, like, just like cartoons. Like the Smurfs, Gummy Bears, G.I. Joe, Gargoyles. Like the old school. Scooby-Doo, the Jetsons, all that. But I also like Boondocks. Boondocks, yeah, child. You got to go check that out. But he gave them booty butt cheeks, booty butt cheeks. Yeah, thugnificent. That's what God told me. But anyway, let me go ahead and get back to the story, y'all. That's what he said. He told me. All right, look, I keep trying to tell y'all. God got to talk to y'all the way that he talked to y'all. Y'all, he told me, so I'm going to give you one of them right there that's going to make people cry when they see it. And I was like this. Yeah, right. This was like mad years ago. You know what I mean? This is like right before I got ill. But I was like, all right, God, that's what you say, But he was like, you're going to be this size. You're going to be this weight. Like all of this. He had told me clothes, panties that I'm going to need to buy and everything. Shout out to Justin Touch J's undies. Yeah, for those of y'all who know about that. But anyway, back to the body. So I'm just rubbing it on and I'm just like, where all this come from, whatever. And God was like, you've been doing like military, like workouts. I be having you doing these workouts. You've been doing them, since you had the surgery. You've been doing this stuff for like 2 years. And like now, you know what to do and how to do it. And your body's adjusted. Like, why don't you expect to look like this? And I just be like, damn, I'm in the mirror just looking like, and God, like, I don't know why you don't understand that you look like that. He goes back and forth with me all the time about this. Cause I just be in disbelief when he starts showing me my body. Because if you're not trying to see it, you don't see it. Look, y'all, I'm about to drop a dime on you, but I'm getting there. But if you ain't trying to see it, you don't see it. So I don't just be standing there like, oh, look at my body. No, it's just like sometimes I might walk past the mirror and I'll be like, damn, my arms is crazy. Or like, wow, like I just catch it real quick. And God be like, I'm trying to show you your body. I'm trying to show you something. He be trying to show me how he healed me. Yo, God healed me. Make sure y'all check out that pizza video. Yeah, I'm singing to the pizza. Yeah, it's all over the social media. You know, you can look at it with my body. Shout out to Justin Touch of J's 400. Yeah, Justin Touch of J's Fitness popping off. Y'all are just, I love y'all. But anyway, look. He just be like, I don't understand, like, why you just don't want to just accept it. Like, your body is amazing, Veronica. And I just be like, looking at it like, yeah, wow. So, anyway, I'm like, this thing is something else. And I'm thinking about the pizza and how God had healed me. And I'm like, God, you just did something just amazing. I'm just thanking him about how he just changed my life. And I'm like, because I used to be out here messing with these chicks and like, I really used to be out here messing with these females and stuff, and then I got a whole boyfriend thing. I'm like, God, and then just mentally, spiritually, like emotionally, like my life is amazing. Like I'm very like connected. I'm so focused. Like I'm just on point doing anything that God tells me to do. Like, just my businesses, everything is just flourishing. Everything, my life is really amazing. It's so peaceful. It's just so joyful. Like, I couldn't ask for nothing else. I'm healthy, everything. And that's what I was saying about the pizza. Like, I was really eating this pizza that God had gave me. Yeah, I had to talk to you about this pizza, but this pizza is something else that he had gave me, but I'm singing to it, because he's a healer. And the reward is to those who diligently seek him. So I'm like, dang. I said, you sure enough, you did something. You did something with me. I said, God, you just chose me, huh? He's like, I know you would serve me and this, that. He go back and forth. He's talking to me. And then I'm like, dang, man, I'm just such a different version of myself, who I used to be. And I'm like, dang, I'm proud of myself. I'm in the room with the description. I'm just looking at my achievements, my accolades, and everything. I'm just like, wow. And he was like, you're gonna be a good wife. He was talking to me about being a wife, and because he been telling me like your husband is coming, and I'm like, all right, God, okay, that's what he be telling me. I don't know what's going on, but that's what God keeps telling me. So he like just keep on working on you, get you straight, right? Make sure you do your little boyfriend thing. So I'm just like, dang, like my husband is really gonna have somebody good. And God's like, and I'm making sure he's straight for you. God just be talking to me. And I'm like, all right, God. So, I'm doing what it is that I do. And God said, any one of your boyfriend things would love to have who you are right now. Like some of them are like genuinely proud of you. And I'm like, yeah, so he's just talking to me. He was like, like the one that just came back. Child, all of the boyfriend things are back, okay? I told y'all this boyfriend thing is crazy. This thing's so deep, y'all. Listen, all of them then came back. Like, it been like only like 8 months, and it's just been like, pow, 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 pow. Like, I love you, one of my daughter's stories, and that's the one we talking about right now. Yeah, because I left y'all off with the other one that had just came back, boyfriend number 7. Yeah, child, boyfriend number 7. He don't want to think he to catch and stuff, want people to chase her. Like, he's the one that just comes over and just be looking on TikTok like, yeah. That's the one I had told y'all that when I had wanted to be with him, he didn't want to be with me. Yeah, it was like, it was just like real, the young boy, my young tenderoni thing. Yeah, child. I told y'all about him on the Just Touch J podcast. You're going to have to go back on them episodes, baby. Yeah, how his parents and them lived out there in their TI and, and his family had a couple dollars, things like that. How we used to chill together. We used to work together. I used to tell y'all how we used to work together all the time. But anyway, go back on there and check that out. But yeah, I was telling y'all about him, 7. But then, child, it was only one that didn't come back. And God had told me about it. And I was just like, oh, okay, I'm chilling. And then my daughter's birthday, October 13th. Yeah, 2025, baby. I was just chilling. God was like, check your stories. I had put some stuff out there for my daughter. Certain stuff I got to do it the way God tell me to do. Sometimes he tell me to put in the stories. Sometimes he tell me to only network on Facebook. Like right now, I've been networking on Facebook and on Instagram. So I was like, this is what I got to do. And God told me to do threads. Then he'll be like, okay, now go over here. Don't do nothing on there right now. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to put anything on my app. Like the whole 12 months. Like he literally had me like chilling. For like a whole 12 months. I'm really about to drop a dime on y'all with this Dave East and Nipsey Hussle. Hold on. Let me drink some of this water. You know what be happening when my voice start doing stuff. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Listen, ain't nothing like that good water. Try to tell you something for those of y'all who know about that. Yeah, ain't nothing like that good water. But look, we got to get back to the story. Because, see, he be trying to throw me off and stuff. The enemy, he's something else. Then I be forgetting where I be at. God be like, boom, right there. That's where you was at. So, look. I was talking about Davies and all of that type of stuff. Been a hotel, man. I put stuff out there and everything. And my husband coming back, right? I was talking about that. And my husband coming back and how God told me, boyfriend number 6. How boyfriend number 6 had just came back. And I was just telling you about boyfriend number 7. Yeah. How he just be coming over, like looking and stuff, and how God sometimes he only had me networking on social media, certain ones, and how y'all got to get all that and everything, right? So look, he came through on October 13th, my daughter's birthday, 2025. My daughter was like, I was putting stuff up in there, a little thing for her. And I did a little video or something she had posted, put a little music up in there. I do all that stuff. My own videos and everything. So I'm doing that. Just something real quick. Put it out there for, happy 27th. And I did one where she had just turned like 21. So it was like, this is how she was then and this is how she is now. She's a grown woman. Shout out to you, girl, if you listening. Rah, child. Pray for her, y'all. She crazy. That's all I can say. But anyway, no, she ain't crazy. She just something else, boy. I tell you, she is something else. But I think about her dad used to say that about me. You was something else, V. Is what he used to call me. Right? So anyway, I said, dang. God was like, any one of them would want to mess with you. They would just love who you are right now. You changed. You're just so different. You're a grown woman. You ain't no child out here. You know who you are. You know what you're doing or whatever. And God was like, like boyfriend number 6, he just came over. Yeah, shout out to you, boyfriend number 6 on October 13th, 2025. He, when I say come over, I mean just like make some type of contact, something. And he was up in my daughter's story. In my story, watching my daughter's story. Yeah. And I was like, is that boy? God was like, now it's time to do the boyfriend thing. All the boyfriends then came back. So I'm like, all right, man, all of them, okay? But anyway, God started talking to me about it, right? So I'm sitting up here and I'm like, yeah, he like, boyfriend number 6, he first. And I'm like, what? Like this. I'm like, come on, God. He like, I told you he was first. I'm like, yeah, you did. But I try to skate past that one because that's the one I was addicted to sex with. Like, we had a whole real sex addiction, y'all. And I'll talk to y'all about that on Just Such a Day podcast when I had introduced them and everything. Yeah, this is what God said just now. I got to let the Holy Spirit lead me. He said, don't forget to tell him. He be like, nudging me like, boom, like, come on, pay attention. Don't forget to tell him that boyfriend number 2 hooked me up with boyfriend number 6. But boyfriend number 6 really didn't know nothing about that. Yeah, like if he knows now, it's just because, I introduced it last year or he's listening to it right now. And it's like, dang, yo, what? Yeah, boyfriend number 2 had hooked me up with boyfriend number 6. Shout out to you if y'all listening, because I know y'all be listening. But yeah, he had hooked me up, child. He hooked me up. Yeah, I was single. Y'all, I was single for like 2 years after boyfriend number 5. That's the alcoholic, the one that was real abusive to me. Child, but I was with him. I wasn't right. You know what I mean? So I was like, I got to be single for a minute. It was almost like about 3 years. And I just was like, I can't take it no more. Like, I just need something. I need somebody to blow my back out. That's what I said. God was telling me, he's like, remember, that's when you wanted to have sex and you just was like, but I gotta find a freak. God was letting me know. And I was like, yeah, I did. I was like, where can I get a freak from that ain't like out here whoring and nothing like that? Like, I'm just talking to boyfriend number 2 about it because he's like my friend. He's like one of my besties, from a distance. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, baby, if you listening. You so thorough. Thank you for everything that you have just being there, Yeah, so anyway, boyfriend number 2, right? He hooks me. He tells me this. He's like, look, this is back in the day, y'all. I could say that. Yeah. I can't tell you how far back, but it was back enough. So, midstream. All right, I'll say that. So anyway, he's like this. He like, yeah, the person always be liking your stuff on like Facebook. I was like, he be liking my stuff on Facebook. He was like, yeah, he be liking it and stuff. He's like, I heard he a freak. He told me that. He's like, I heard he like putting belts around people's neck and everything. I'm like, what? I need somebody to put a belt around my neck right now. That's what I said. God was talking to me about it. He's like, remember, that's what you said. And I was like, that is exactly what I said. I was like, I need somebody to blow these things right out. I need my back blown out. Yeah. And I need some freak type of stuff because I told you I don't know nothing about no regular sex. I tell you all that on Just a J podcast all the time, baby. The Just a Touch of J podcast. I tell you about it on there, but this ain't the podcast. This is Just a Touch of J's vocals. It's when God drop a dime on me and tell me about myself and bring me a revelation and I put scripture on it and all that. Just this me on here just talking to you. Yeah, and then God said, it's time to start sharing things about my boyfriend because my boyfriend thing about to be on the podcast. So I said, okay, so look, anyway, I'm telling number 2, I'm like, look, I need you to, like, how can I do that? He like, look, well, just, I heard that's what he into. And this back around the time where I had my girlfriend thing. Yeah, child, we going to talk about that. God said I got to do a girlfriend thing. It's crazy, but, hey, he said the truth going to set him free. He done changed my life around. So I'm like, look, okay, what is it that you want me to say? Dude, he like, tell the truth. So I'm like, okay. So this is what I'm trying to tell you all. This was around the time where I was messing with the chicks too. And I was like, dang. He was like, yeah, he into like, 2 of them and everything. I'm like, oh, yes. That's what I'm talking about. So look, I'm like, hook that up. So he like, nah, just, do your thing. He be liking it, so just comment or whatever. That's basically what he told me. So I was like, look, this is what I'm going to do. So I start commenting on this stuff a little bit, roll them in. Yo, trying to tell you, man, listen. I said, he a little young too. Yeah, I know just what to do with him. Yeah, so, I got him all up. Finally got with him, after a little bit of time. Probably was like about a good 2-3 months. Because I got like this 2-3 month rule type of thing. What I did then. Yeah, like I can't take you around my children. Like, yo, no, you can't come over, nothing. But then when you get past that 2-3 months, that's how I was. I would, let you come over. I'll cook for you, do a little something like that. See if we could really chill in the crib. Yeah, I need to see if we could really be around each other. I did this with all my boyfriend things, all the way up to 10. Like, look, can we even be around each other, like chilling? Can I be at my scarf and just, because I wasn't letting nobody take me out or nothing like that until you could prove that you could at least be in the crib with me. You weren't out here lying and cheating and doing all this other type of crazy type of stuff. Like, could we just chill? And it depended on who they was, on how long that chilling last. Some of the chilling before we out, we chill with the family, everything cool because they knew how to handle me in the home setting as well. When I say handle me, I mean like just be a man. Like do what they had to do. So then they got like privileges and stuff. I let them do certain things with me, like go certain places and all that type of stuff, like for real, because I thought I was the truth. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, let's see if you can pass this. Okay, you pass that. Let's see if you can pass this. You pass that. And he started getting past things. You know what I'm saying? So, we was chilling with her, and I was like, okay, we finally got, all up with each other. And he wound up coming to live with me. I told you basically all of them on the Just a Touch Today podcast live with me. I didn't live with them except for boyfriend number 9. He had a room for me at his house. Yeah, child. Yo, listen, I told y'all about boyfriend number 9. Yeah, he the one that used to be the pastor, and I had a whole, listen, a whole room at his crib. Like, I could have had all these cars and everything. Like, he was just trying to do everything. I had an allowance. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Yeah, I hear God telling me. God, don't forget to tell about the allowance. Yeah, I had a monthly allowance. Like, literally, I would break a nail one, and I would just hear my thing go off like, ching, Cash App or something. And I would be like, I broke my nail. And it'd be like $200. Like, just go get them all done again. Like, it was stuff like that. But when I was messing with boyfriend number 6, like, he skid past, and he was one of the ones that kind of made it through. So, we used to be chilling, but we had a whole different type of relationship, but it was just sexual. Yeah, but we was cool at the same time. Like, he would help me with my college papers. I would be like, how does this sound? Or he would be like, it sounds a little this and that. And we would just go over, and he'd be like, I think we should do it like this. And I'll be like, yeah. And then he would just sit there, and I would be like, what are you doing? Thank you, God. God is telling me to tell you all this. We have a lot of the same things, kind of in common. Because we grew up in that era, but not together. Because I told you one boyfriend hooked me up with the other one. So to let you know, it was kind of in a close proximity. Yeah. So, but he just always was just really in the things that I was into. But at that time, I liked it, but I wasn't doing it. Okay. For instance, we both have mobile apps. Okay. We both have our own marijuana papers. Yeah, we both have quite a few things going on. We in that same, their group type of thing. If I could put that out there in pieces for you. Yeah, it's just that circle. Okay, in a sense. He does music. He makes music. He writes music. I do too. Just all different type of stuff is kind of similar. So the sex thing was damn, I was like, yo, yes, this is what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, this is exactly what I'm saying. But I knew deep down on the inside that I couldn't be with him. Yeah, any y'all out there going through that? It wasn't because of nothing else. It was just, I knew I couldn't be with him because of this. Because he didn't love Christ like me. Yeah, child. It's all about God when it comes to me, baby. Yeah, he didn't love Christ like me. When I say like me, I'm like, yo, you want to go to church? He like, nah. It was just, he would watch me watch church, and I'd be like, you want to watch it with me? He'd be like, no. He was just against that. That wasn't his thing. And I'm like, Dad, I know what God told me about my husband. And I'm like, well, I already know that ain't it. Yeah, I just knew that wasn't it. His belief, he would say things to me about the black Jesus, certain stuff, in the universe. Shout out to him too, because he made a song about me. This universe song. Yeah, child. Yeah, shout out to you. Boyfriend number 6, I love you. Yeah, we had this different type of love. We had a love for each other. Yeah, we cried together. Listen, baby, I watched him cry. He watched me cry. We cried together. It was you just one of them people that forgives you for anything, but always tells you could be yourself around him. That's what he used to just do. That's who he was. He was that type of person. People used to be hating because this is what God was just telling me. God was like, you know how they used to be hating on y'all? Talk about that. And I was like, yeah. Literally, yo, people who knew us used to be hating on us. They didn't even want us together. That's what he would be like. I remember one time he said this. He was like, yo. He was like, they hating, right? I was like, yeah. He was like, how it feel? I was like, oh no, he's like, don't it feel good? We was sitting in the bedroom. He was like, doesn't it feel good? When somebody hating on you, think about it. And I'm like, you know what? It does feel good. He was like, yeah, see, I told you. We had that type of relationship. I would watch him like sit there and I would be like, what are you doing? Before he was who he is now in the industry. Okay. I would be like, what are you doing? And he would be like, I got to email all my fans. And I'll be like, what? He'll be like, yeah, like one by one. I gotta send out these emails and I gotta do this for each and every last one of them. And he would share his dreams with me, like, yo, I want to play. I want to make sure that I'm in different parts of the world. And I would be like, what? You know, like to me, it was like, but now I get it, because that was what I always wanted to do too, what I wanted to do. You know, but we gonna talk about that. But anyway, God was laying it on me. He was like, yeah. He was like, y'all had that different type of love. He was like, Monica, look, you're not even paying attention. It's like basically smacked me up in my head. I'm trying to show you something. And I'm like, what? He was like, the tattoos. I was like, the tattoos? I'm like, oh, I'm about to record my boyfriend thing. He like, no, you ain't doing that, not yet. Like, you're not putting that out there yet. And I'm like, what? I mean, he like, you just got to go talk to him about the choices and stuff that we making. He was like, the tattoos, you got his initials tattooed on you. And I was like, yeah. And then God started going over it with me about these tattoos. Child, this is like a whole podcast. This thing is so deep. But look, I had to write down stuff and take notes. Hold on, let me go to it. Okay, addicted to sex, maybe couldn't be with each other because of life. Okay, different sex, lustful sex. Oh, okay, let's talk about that. I'm sorry, y'all. This house got to go, okay? Because until I could wrap it all up, because I had to make notes, because I was like, that, what are you talking about? But God was telling me that, okay, that's why I couldn't be with him, because of the belief system, right? And I kept saying like, yo, you're right, I cannot be with him because of the belief system. I'm like, gosh, like I just wished that we could, because we had all these other things like together. Like we would just share so much. We just be talking and everything. This is the one I told y'all, thank you, Holy Spirit, that when I woke up, he was sitting in the house like, yeah, watching me, how I was sitting at the bottom of the steps when boyfriend number 10 came down. He was upstairs with this chick. Yo, like, yeah, I'm in here. What? Yeah, when I woke up, he was like that. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, what are you doing in here? And all I could do was laugh. And he was just like, yeah. You know, he's the one that fell asleep behind my couch and stuff. He was hiding underneath my bed, you know, and I found out because my daughters, yeah, like I had some stuff happen. I told y'all this on the Justice Such a Day podcast. But look, we had this different type of love. Like I said, you know, you got to still love somebody when you know they was underneath your bed and they was in your house when you wake up. You know what I'm saying? But we just shared something different, you know. But he was a freak. He was into that type of stuff. And when I started to tell him, like, you know, when God started showing me who I was, because God's let me know, like, you know, all of them would have loved this version of you. God is telling me, he is like, look, he was like, when y'all couldn't be together, it became like a lustful, what did God say? Lustful love intertwined. Yeah, intertwined. A lustful love that was intertwined. That's what God said it was. Because it was like so sexual, but so loving that when we couldn't be together because life, that's what God said. God was like, it was life. Life didn't allow us to be together. All we had was still that lustful, you know, sex. You know, and that's when when I was going through it with boyfriend number 8, I messed around on boyfriend number 8. Even though we wasn't together, you know, I still would, you know, say that it kind of was. I did it on purpose. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I told y'all that on Just Such Day podcast last year. Yeah, child, y'all better go back on there and get them pieces, recap, so you can know where we at when it start, okay? But yeah, so that's when I had went back there and I was messing with him around that time. Yeah, just one time, you know, but it was a good one time, and I made sure that it was, because that's the mind state that I was in. That's what I'm trying to talk to y'all about. Like guarding your heart and watching yourself and stuff, because you would get caught out there with these pieces. So anyway, let me get back. Because the guy said I got to talk about the tattoos, right? Hold on. Okay, I said that boyfriend number 2 hooked me up. Okay, with the freak. Okay, good. Yeah, it was some freaky stuff. But anyway, God was telling me that I loved him. And I was like, yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, I really did. He was like, and he loved you. And I was like, yeah, that's right, we did. God was like, you cried together. Okay? You got his name tattooed. Yeah, watch them cry. You cry. And I'm like, well, with some other ones that, shed some tears. And then God started going. He's going through it with me. He said, yeah, most of them is the one you got the tattoos, or they got tattoos, or you share tattoos. And I was like, he said the tattoos. He told me to write it down on my book, and it says the tattoos. And put a circle around it, and then put other stuff all around it. So I was like, okay. He's like, for instance, boyfriend number 4, because God starts talking to me about the tattoos. Because he's like, you got boyfriend number 6, initial. Okay, his first and last name initial, but you got it a certain type of way. It looks a certain type of way, like a flowered heart. He was like, you did that on purpose. So he starts talking to me about these tattoos that I have on me, about these boyfriend things. And I'm like, I'm like, God, you really want me to talk about this, huh? He like, you already talked about it last year when you introduced him. You were talking about how some of y'all had some matching tattoos and stuff. And I got some with the girlfriend things too, y'all. Wait till y'all get this. Oh my God. I tell you, the truth will set you free. Yes, it will. Oh my gosh. Shout out to God for healing me. So anyway, he says number 4, right? You have his, and he has yours. I was like, what? He was like, the name. Child, y'all, I told y'all boyfriend number 4, the one you could look him up on some real life cop stuff, like on the internet. Yo, listen, I can't make this up, okay? Listen, I ain't even gonna go there. You know what I'm saying? But he got my name tattooed on him, and somebody did it with ashes. Okay, it is the dopest, darkest tattoo I've ever seen in my life. But it says Ronnie. That's what he called me. Yeah, it's going down his arm. That's boyfriend number 4 for those of y'all who know about that. Because I know some of y'all like, I knew that was him. I knew it. Because some of y'all, especially from back up north, y'all know. What's up, y'all? Y'all got my podcast popping like popcorn, baby. Yo, let me just stop real quick and parenthetically digress this. Shout out to my pastor Mike Jr. Yes. Make sure y'all be checking me out on Sundays. I do online hosting for Pastor Mike Jr. at Rock City Church, Birmingham, Alabama. Yeah, I be all up in that thing. He just got, like 8 Stellar Awards just in a movie, on top of the billboards, like number 1. Shout out to you. But anyway, let me get back, right? I've been out here doing things. Yes. The boyfriend things. We talking about that. We talking about everything. And then I had to skate on over here to the left and tell y'all how good and thorough God was, and how he had me writing down stuff about the boyfriends, and how he told me to put the tattoos in the middle. And then, I was talking about boyfriend number 6 and our whole sex addiction and how I was messing around, and then this and that. And then I got to number 4. And the fact that he has mine and I have his, the name. I got his name too on the back of my neck. Yeah, it's a little tiny one though, because I had one on my back at the bottom and I had got it covered, because I really didn't want to get it. I just got it because he had got mine, and I was like, no. And then later on, like through the years and stuff, because he was part of my boyfriend thing, I went and got the name on the back of the neck again because I felt bad. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. That's why I did it. So I said, make it really small, is what I told him. Yeah, because I can't be out here lying to y'all, because then God gonna be mad, and then I can't be dealing with that, because he done blessed me and then healed me. Yeah, so gotta tell y'all the truth. So I had put that on there, just on the strength of just, he got mine. So let me just go ahead, I guess. But I'm gonna get it real small. And I remember saying, put it real small and make it. And I remember the guy's wife was saying this, and rest in peace, GG. Yeah, rest in peace, GG. Yeah, man. But she was saying, do it like this, baby, to her husband when he was tatting me. He used to tat all of us back up in Jersey, and he was tatting the back of my neck, and he had his old gun out. Like, he would just be using it. He had built this tattoo gun, and he called it his old gun, his granddaddy. He would pull it out. And she was like this, make it so it looks like something she could turn into something else. Because I don't feel like that's the one. Yeah. So I was like, I'm just make it real light. Don't do it too much. So that's what's on the back of my neck. Right. But God was telling me, he was like, boyfriend number 4, you got the same tattoo. You got tattoos. I'm like, I got tattoos. God, like, you better remember this thing, girl. You got tattoos. He's like, number 5. It's like, you got tattoos with him too. I was like, oh, yeah. Yeah, I was like, I do. He was like, you got 2 with him. He was like, but you got to talk about why you got the tattoo. So you know why I got the 2 tattoos with boyfriend number 4. So now this is why I got the tattoos with boyfriend number 5. Okay, I got tattoos with boyfriend number 5 to symbolize that I would never ever go back and be with him again. That was the alcoholic. Charlie was so abusive. Oh my God, wait till I tell y'all about that. Oh my gosh, it was the worst relationship I had ever been in my whole entire life. Okay, and he supersedes the one that tried to kill my dog. Child, boyfriend number 8. Listen, okay, we can't even get to all these pieces, but they're on the Just Touch Day podcast. But I had talked to y'all about it, so you better go ahead on there and shout out to y'all again. Over, like, yo, Google was like this. Y'all out here Googling me and stuff. Who is Just a Touch of J? 200,000? Yo, over, look. No, matter of fact, you right. Thank you, God. It's 300,000 something now. It ain't even 200,000 no more. It's 300 something thousand now. It's 200 countries, over 200 countries. Cause I was just like, okay, it's like 100 something country, 190 something country. No, that don't say over. I'm like, is that many? I had to Google it to check it out. My dad gonna sub. I said, let me Google to see what it is that they doing. But y'all got my podcast popping like popcorn, baby. So I tell y'all on Just a Touch J app. Okay, popping like popcorn, y'all. Listen, I ain't never seen nothing like it. I ain't. You know what I'm saying? I know God he putting it out there in pieces for me, baby. But dang, shout to y'all in Singapore, okay, Iceland, okay, Aruba, South Africa, yes, Lagos. What's cracking? Yeah, the UK, Romania, y'all out there. Let me not forget Japan. Because if I don't say them, they'd be like, yeah, you can mention me. I will hear about it, I swear, in the email or something. The text message. Gonna, boom, I already apologized. Yes. And everybody else, I love y'all. So look, back to where we at. Because I always be skating all over to the left, to the left, to the left. And I've been dancing, y'all. I got to come out with something with dancing. Because I'm like, they got to know. Well, back up north, y'all know. Yeah, and that's what I was talking about. I know y'all be like this. Dang, I knew. That's who it was. Yeah, boyfriend number 4 with the whole tattoo thing, right? So, yeah. God said you got to talk about why you got them. So 5. I got 2, and I got them because, man, listen, I had to remember a few things. I could never be with him. Like I told you, he was really abusive. It just wasn't right. Yeah, it wasn't nothing right about it. Even my mom, thank you, Holy Spirit. My mom had said something to me about him. When my mom, okay, Miss Johnson, she don't be saying nothing. No. She don't say nothing about nobody. Yeah, she don't say nothing about nobody. No. Yeah, she doesn't. I don't know why I feel the Holy Spirit telling me this. I haven't spoken to my mom in like 3 years. Well, she hasn't spoken to me. Should I say that? So y'all pray for that. Pray about that. Yeah, my mom got a lot of stuff going on, and, I reach out, but, hey, you can't make nobody, you know what I mean? You just got to keep it going. But anyway, I felt like the Holy Spirit needed me to say that. Maybe somebody else is going through something like that. You'll be okay. Okay, you have to understand that has nothing to do with you. Okay? Seriously, that has to do with them. Yeah, somebody don't reach out to you and all that. You just got to pray for them, lay prostrate before the Lord, give it to God, keep it pushing. Yeah, so I just wanted to be obedient and yield to the Holy Spirit when he told me about that. So, boom. Yeah, I got them in that whole thing so that I would make sure these tattoos with boyfriend number 5, that I would never be with him again. My mom had to say something to me about him. My mom was like, my mom never say nothing. She don't talk to us about each other, nothing. Okay, but she was like this. She was like, I had to lay into him. And I was like, well, lay into what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, she's like, I had to let him know my daughter will never, ever depend on you. You will never make my daughter depend on you. But my mom has seen something. You know, the moms be knowing. They be like, I don't know. God been talking to me about that too. Whoever it is, I don't know, something with your parents. Like your parents know that this person ain't right, don't like them or something. Please just listen, okay? Because, you know, God been bringing that to me. He be like, it's the parents know. And I talked to you all about that on Just Touch Jay's vocals, the one with my daughter, Rara, her new boyfriend. Okay, you're going out of the country and all this other stuff to meet the mom. Okay, go back and check out the pieces if you didn't get it. All right. But anyway, yeah, like the parents, they be knowing this stuff. Yeah, just be knowing. You know, and my mom had said something. Yeah, my mom was like, yo, no, he will never. I had to let him know. And I was like, okay, you overstuffed. Okay. But it made me be like, And he's the one that I was in premarital counseling with. Remember, we was going to get married, y'all. I told y'all on Just Today podcast. Listen, I'm trying to, you better go back and check it out, okay? Better go back through them episodes, baby. You know, listen, I'm trying to tell you, y'all out there going crazy with this podcast, too. So I know you're going back there looking at them. God said, wait till you get 8 million. I was like, 8 million? God, like, watch. I told you it's going to be past 250,000. I remember it was 80. I remember it was 10,000. So look. Anyway, she said, I had to tell you. I had to let you know. I was like, oh, okay. So I had to let him know. I was like, God. But yeah, we was in premarital counseling. And then, you know, the pastor was like, okay, so I guess I'll be seeing y'all next week. And I was like, no, I'm not coming. And he was like, what do you mean? It was just us three up in the church. I ain't playing. I swear I can't make this up. I can't. It was at nighttime and everything. And he was sitting over there and I was sitting across from him and the pastor was like kind of like in between us. He was to my left. To the left. Y'all know I be singing, oh, wait till y'all get this song. Oh my gosh. And the interlude I just did. Oh my gosh. For the Just a Touch of J radio show. Whoo. Just finished that last night. Yeah, I finished that last night. But look, anyway. So, I be cracking myself up. How I just be here and there. And I just be coming back like, bow. Because guess how God be telling me to do it. He be telling me just go out there and just put it out there in pieces on, baby. So, 5. My mom told him. You know, we was in the whole counseling thing. I let him know. I'm like, look, I don't know. We're not going to be coming back. And he was like, what do you mean? Like, huh? And I'm like, yeah. He was like, what are you talking about, Jillian? Like that. And I was like, well, I'm not getting married. And he was like, you're not getting married? And I was like, no. And he was like, well, what did he say? Boyfriend number 5. I had to think about it because I was like, don't you say no name. God be telling me like, don't. So I was like, boyfriend number 5. He's like, boyfriend number 5. Did you know about this? And he's like, I'm just finding out right now. And I was like, he's like, so I guess we're not going to be coming back. I was like, nope, we're not going to be coming back. So I got these 2 tattoos. One of them is a date. And the date was the date that I realized that I would not be dealing with him anymore. And then I have love starts here on my right. What is that? Wrist on the inside of it. And it has like this arrow. And mine's point, when you point to yourself, it says love starts here. And he has the same date. And he has exactly the same tattoo. But his says love ends here. And guess what I did back then? Because I got to keep it 100 with you. I got to tell you the truth so I can set you free. I told him to get starts. I said, I'm going to get starts here and you get ends here. And he was like, oh, okay. He was like, because the love ends. I said, the love ends with you. And he was like, oh, yeah, I like that. That's dope. And I was like, and it starts with me. But what I was really saying is that here on this date, here, love starts here on this date when I start loving myself and I'm not dealing with you anymore after today. So he has the same tattoo, but he doesn't know that unless he's listened to this boyfriend thing. But I got to keep it 100 with y'all. When he points his hand to himself, it says love ends here. And it did. It ended right there Because he'll never find nobody that loved him like how I loved him. Okay? That's just the way it is. It's just a touch of J, baby. Yeah. I'm just trying to put it all out there in pieces for you. God let me know. He was like, listen, let me tell you something. Okay? Anybody that constantly keeps coming back to you after all these years has not found love like you. And I understand that. I'm thorough and wise. None of my boyfriend things right now got anybody that's like me. None of them. Okay? They ain't got nobody like me. I'm thorough and wise. None of them. None of them. And if you ask them, and if they honest, they be like, yeah, I ain't got nobody like her. She definitely thorough and wise. Like, if they was honest, they would say that. Because they know I'm thorough and wise. Everything about me thorough and wise. Yeah, they ain't never find nobody better than me. No, no, they haven't yet. That's why we on here doing this boyfriend thing. I promise you that. They would tell you if they was honest. So anyway, okay, that's what I got. Because I was like, yo, no. So he knows now, but that's what I was on back then. You know, that type of trickery type of stuff. And I thank God for healing me. You know, because, I was doing stuff like that. Like, I'm going to trick him up, let him get this tattoo right here. He going to think it's standing for one thing, but it really don't. But when he find out, it ended there. Because of how horrible he used to be treating me. But, I was with him. And I was with him because he made me laugh. There was a lot of things that, I kind of felt sorry for him at times because he was addicted to alcohol. And it was a horrible thing. But we'll talk about it. So anyway, guys like the tattoos. I'll just be putting it out there in pieces for y'all. Just a little bit. Just a tiny bit. Only what God tells me to. So God was like, the tattoos. So I was like, okay. All right. He was like, now those are the ones you got ones with. Right? He's like, now don't forget about number 2. Number 2, that's the bestie. I was supposed to get one with the bestie, right? But then when I realized the bestie wasn't going to be like my husband, I backed out. So bestie has one part of the tattoo and I just never got the other one. Yeah. I do plan on getting it because it's like, it's just something simple. Especially now because we've been friends for so long. I've been thinking about it. Actually, I just talked to somebody about getting tattoo done and I was thinking about getting that one done. Yeah, it's just like a little symbol thing that we had came up with. Then I was just going to hit him one day with a photo like, yeah, you think I was never going to get that? Yeah, so shout out to you, boyfriend number 2, if you listen. Now you know about the tattoo I was going to tell you about. But anyway, yeah, that was that thing with that. So God was like, the tattoos. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, it's more. Okay, I know. So I'm like, I was really wilding. But that's what God said happens when you don't guard your heart and you just be out here doing stuff. When you out there like the blind man. Yeah, the one that was seeing people like trees walking around. I tell y'all, seeing people like trees walking around. Yo, the people had to bring him to Jesus. Like, Jesus, please tell him he see people like trees. I talked to y'all about that already. Okay, on my episode about the trees. Y'all got to check that out. Because that's how I used to be saying my boyfriend things like, yo, these ain't nothing but a bunch of trees, Timberland boots. Yo, when can I get a fresh new pair? Because they were nothing but boyfriend things sometimes to me. And God says, you got to put this thing out there. Peace. So look, so I'm like this. All right, the tattoos. So those are the ones that we shared. There's 2 that shared tattoos with me, 4 and 5. And then number 2, I told you about that when he has one and I was supposed to get it, but then I had punked out, but I said I still was going to get it because he's like my bestie, as in a guy version. Yeah. So then God said, these are the ones that I have, but they don't have mine. Like I just got tattoos about them. So God was like, the tattoo. So I'm like, all right, God, okay. So he's talking to me about, so there he goes. I had to write it down. Hold on. Boyfriend number 6. Okay. That's the one I'm telling you all just came back. I got the initials, but like the other part of his last name looks like kind of like how I got the first name and the last name. Thank you, Lord. I was about to say it. The first name and the last name, it's like a heart and stuff. Because it means something. Like I told y'all, we share a different type of love. Like we actually loved each other. Like it was like a passion, freaky, like it was some, I don't know what you want to call it. But I know God wasn't up in it, in the relationship, and that's why I told you I knew that it wasn't going to be nothing. Just because of that, though. Nothing else. That was all. That was the only reason. So then number 7. Oh, well, it was other reasons. But we'll get there on Just Touch J podcast, baby. Yeah, because it had turned into something else. Yeah, and that's boyfriend number 6. Shout out to you again, baby, if you listening. So number 7, right? This is the one that, this is the one where God really broke this one down. Now listen, y'all. Boyfriend number 7, real quick. This is the one that always comes over to TikTok. Okay, just me. Look, just like, see me. Remember that? I just did that. I did that whole Just Touch Jay's vocals. You know, like, they didn't see ya, Monica. They didn't see ya. Now they're trying to get you to see them. And I was like, them, okay? The ones that's just coming over. He was the last one, okay, that came over before boyfriend number 6. He came over to TikTok and just always just coming over to TikTok like, yo, what's up? That's the one who always thinks he's the catch. He thinks he's the catch, you know, with everything. You know, he don't, you know, he just like that. The one who used to work with me, you know, I told y'all about him, okay? Anyway, I got this tattoo, right? And this tattoo, he used to be my young boy. The tattoo is 2 dragons. I drew them. I draw too. I do all type of stuff, y'all. So I drew this tattoo, one of my peoples, and he helped me out with it. It's 2 dragons. One is like flying away, and one is at the bottom. It's on my forearm. It's on my left arm. It's like flying away. And the way I got it is I didn't really want nobody to kind of see it. I had to turn my arm around, like open my arm up, like so you can see the inside of my forearm. And it goes up my arm. But the one that's a girl, she's like trying to fly away. You can see like her wings. Like it's just so crazy. And then the one that's at the bottom, you know, I made him have hair like boyfriend number 7. Okay. And just a little piece for you. Just a little piece. Okay. Yeah, baby. And I took it and I made it go entwine like in the heart. And like the tails like intertwine. You know, like because it was like I was always trying to get away, and he was always trying to do what he was doing, but it was like the heart was like in the way when it came to both of us. And the tails like just kept us together. That's why I got that tattoo like that. And what I did was I took the inside, because God said, don't forget to tell him this. Right? Because God always talks to me about what I need to say first. So he was like, make sure you tell him about his name. I got his last name in it, right? But I purposely got it this way because I was unsure about him. You know, because we talked about being married and everything. You know, like what we would wear and all type of stuff. A few of them I talked about being married with because I was like, yo, I need somebody that's going to be there for life. That's what I was looking for before I knew that, you know, I was the catch and a husband finds that finds a wife finds a good thing. I was out there looking for him. Like, let me see. You know, let me see if I get a fresh new pair. Like, let me see which one this is. He gonna fit into the category. But, you know, I took his name and I put it a certain type of way. And I made it so it could get shaded in. That's what I told him. I said, put it like this so that way I could shade it in one day. Because I knew something on the inside of me was just like, no, I don't think this is it. He didn't have to fight the desire. I mean, peep game right now. Look, that was then. Peep game now. He still comes over to my social media page. Just like, why are you coming over to TikTok? Like, yo, you know I have 5 Instagrams, 5 Facebooks. Shout out to y'all. Y'all got my views up. Yo, these podcast things I'm in, like y'all got listen, y'all be out here wilding. Yo, them things be like 70,000 views. I'll be like, dang. When I look at the stats and stuff, like on Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff, I just be like, yo, it ain't never about the likes. It's always about the views. Yo, always understand that, man. I think I'm going to teach a master class on that. But anyway, look. Yeah. He could come over to any one of them. But he just, you know, be coming over there. But I got that tattoo because I was like, I got to wear the last name, yo. So I was like, how can I do this? Oh, I know how I could do it. I can get it where it got to get shaded out. Yeah, just in case. Yeah, and I said this. Okay, this is what I'll do with this. We'll see, you know, if he don't turn out to be my husband, I'll just get it shaded in. Because we talked about things, like I said. And that's how it be when you be in this relationship. So then I was like, God was like, and then don't forget this one. Here's like the last one. Here's like 10. I was like, 10. And he was like, let me explain this one. This one was different. This is the love of your life, baby. This one, when you got this tattoo was a different type of tattoo. I was like, why? God was like, because remember, y'all was chilling and he was over the house. And I was like, yeah. He was like, he was over the house and something happened, got his attention. I'm like, yeah. And he was like, he went and got this tattoo about it when he was with you. And you asked him about it, and he was like, yeah, it was, something, he kind of like skated around it, but kind of talked about it, And he was like this. He was like, but I was with you. It's like, and that's why I got this. So later on, I was like, dang, that was thorough. Never really dug into it, but, gave me enough to know. One of them type of things, So I was like, you know what? Something had happened when I was with him. Yeah, that was real memorable to me. Yeah, it was something that was just, oh, man. So I went and got it's like a similar tattoo, So because of that, something happened when I was with him. Yeah, it just made me just be like, you know what? Yeah. So we share that together. He got his first and I got mine second. And they're similar. So God was like, the tattoos, like, yo. And I'm like, what is it about these tattoos? Like, you had me go all around here, come all the way back for what? What is it? What? I'm like, what? Guard the heart again? What? He was just like, it's about the love. I'm like, the love? What part about the love? God was like, see, you always out here talking about how you really didn't love people and stuff like that. He was like, you was out here like looking for the love. And I told you to tell him, don't be out here looking for the love. And, and don't be trying to make nobody like you and all this other type of stuff. And then God was like, I ain't never tell you. You ain't never try to make nobody love you. And then I told y'all what people do when you be trying to make them love you. Yeah. Remember I had told y'all how boyfriend number 10, how he had women. And these chicks used to be contacting me. I used to be like, wait a minute. First of all, who are you? What? How do you even know about me? I found all of this stuff about you. That's what the last one had told me. And I was like, what? She was like, emails, everything. And I was like, damn. And I was like, dang, he got you out here like that. That's what I said to her. I ain't even going to lie. I got to tell you the truth. And she was just on the phone. She had called me up. Is he there? And I was just like, what? Like, who does that? But that's what you do when you be trying to make people love you. And I ain't never tried to do nothing like that. I told y'all on the Justin Touches J podcast, baby. I don't worry about nothing. It's mine. Not the way God be out here taking care of me. God be like, what? Please, don't even worry about that. I got that. I'll be like, all right, you know what I mean? Like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, look, you are my chosen one. I foreknew you. I got you. Ain't no weapon. Ain't nobody going to do that. Let me come on out here real quick and tell y'all what this scripture say real quick that he had gave me. Yeah, real quick. Because I told you I got the scriptures. This is the one right here. See, all your angry enemies lie there, confused and humiliated. Anyone who opposes you will die and come to nothing. Yo, that's Isaiah 41:11. Just in case, it says, here's another version. Behold, all who rage against you will be ashamed and disgraced. Those who contend with you will be reduced to nothing and will perish. I mean, why would God give me that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would he give me that? I ain't come up with that scripture. I got a whole bunch of scriptures God be giving me. Like, man, don't worry about nothing. Keep reading your Bible. You know what I'm saying? Worry about these 2 houses. Worry about your estate. Worry about your sex room with your husband. I told y'all about that. Yo. Woo! The favor that's going to be on that man's life. But anyway, look. Yeah, God said it's about the love. Y'all gotta watch it. So I'm like, all right, you scared me all around here, the love, the tattoos and all this. He was like, yeah, because see, back then you had some issues. Like clearly, I mean, anybody that just, heard all of that, you'd be like, what? You got a tattoo because of what? So really, when I be telling my therapist, shout out to her, but because I know she ain't listening. Because she can't. You that whole patient confidentiality thing. She be like, Jillian, can I listen to it? She be like, so why did you do this? I'm like, I don't know. She be like, so around this time, but you got a tattoo with this one. Did you feel guilty? Did you feel? And she be like, stay right there. That's your homework. She's always giving me homework and stuff. Yeah, God's telling me about this. How I got to tell you all this. What happens is that you start getting all messed up. Okay, when you start doing stuff like that, like tattoos and not knowing if you love the person, you didn't know the love the person, you just be all out there because you be in these relationships that God tell you don't be in. Yeah, this is what this is about. He been telling me I got to talk to you about these relationships. Listen, he said, this is what you need to do. You need to say this. I got to get over myself and stop worrying about how other people see me. Give them just a touch of J. Not too much. Everything else is God. I'm just trying to put it all out there in peace for you, baby. Like, that's what he said you got to do. Yeah, you just got to just fall back and just give him just a little bit. Just chill. Like, I don't know what y'all out here doing. But apparently, some of y'all out here, he said y'all was making bad choices. Hold on. Yeah. Bad choice. He's like, Monica, that's how you had a whole boyfriend thing. Like, you was out here trying to figure it out. And that's what they out here trying to do. They trying to figure it out. You got to go in there and talk to him and stuff. He was like, you have to put this out there in pieces like this. And I'm like, well, damn, who is it? I started going back. Like, is this one somebody that I know? What? Because the Lord just been putting this on me. He said, you got to talk to him about how I changed your life around. How you used to mess with women and you just, listen, okay? Wait till y'all get this boyfriend and this girlfriend thing, okay? But the stuff that I used to just be doing was just like not cool and stuff. Like as far as the Lord is concerned, God don't want you to be all holier than thou, but like know who you are. Like these things started to rip me apart and break me down and change my perspective on life. I started seeing people like trees and, not caring about certain things and, how I would treat people and how I would let people treat me. Yeah. I let a lot of people treat me like messed up. And it was just like crazy. It has started like to break me down. Like I was getting broke down from this type of stuff. Like by the time I got to boyfriend number 10, I was just like, I just can't no more. And that's when I was telling boyfriend number 6, like, look, I can't keep doing this with you. I used to tell him that. I was like, I don't want to do this no more. Yeah, I don't want to be doing the whole masturbation thing on the phone and watching you. And I don't want to do none of this. That's what I said. I was like, I can't. I was like, I want a husband. God told me I'm going to have a husband. I need to get my life together. And I would tell him this all the time. Like to let him know, like, I can't be out here like this. Like, this is not cool. This is not what God told me I was going to have in my life. So therefore, I know that this is not cool. But it was just love. It was just some type of love that just kept us together. Like I said, I got the tattoo. But when you out here and you all lost and you all messed up and you start doing crazy stuff because you're not doing what God tells you to do, you really get off course and you start picking wrong. And like I'm trying to tell you, that's how I got my boyfriend there. 31 years of me dating, baby. 10 boyfriends, 10 different ways. Okay, some of them I love, some of them I didn't. And along the line, God is showing me some stuff, child. I'm like, dang, I didn't even know. I didn't even know I felt that type of way or whatever, but, God said I got put out there in pieces. So whoever this is for, listen, okay, I really am getting so tired of coming on here. Let me not say that because God's using me for his glory, but can you please get it together? Because it's just like, he's like, you got to go back on here and talk about that. I'm like, for what? And make sure you say this and make sure you say that. I'm like, okay, but I guess somebody need to hear about the tattoo thing. Y'all out here tattooing people's names on your body or getting a whole bunch of tattoos and remembrance of different things and people and all this because you can't cope with what you've done. Right, you're wrong. He been telling me to tell y'all that too. A lot of y'all out here hurting people in these relationships and just going on to the next one. Like, listen, you reap what you sow. Read the Bible. Look it up, period. You know you reap what you sow. Come on now, please. Like, it's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? It just happens. Biblically or not biblically, you going to get what you got coming to you. Whether if you doing good out here, you out here, you sowing and you doing what you got to do. You sowing into your business and you doing everything. It's going to flourish. You're going to reap what you sow. You out here working, you saving your money. If you going to the gym and you working out, you see me, I've been working out. You can't even deny it. You like, that is not even no Photoshop. Like, that is for real. You know what I'm saying? You like, damn, she put working like that. You see the whole podcast number. You can Google me. You know what I'm saying? Just a touch of day. Like, you can see it. I'm putting work in. God put it out there in pieces for you. Unless I'm paying somebody, and trust me, I ain't paying nobody to do that. You know what I'm saying? You can't even pay nobody to do that. But you gonna reap what you sow. So he been telling me, he like, tell him, Ron, could go in there and tell him. I'm like, look, you made my edges come back. I told y'all, God told me, he was like, look, if I go ahead and I make sure I heal you, it's like, and I let your edges come back, wait till y'all get that. How my edges came back. Oh, y'all gonna love it. It's so thorough wise. Yeah, everybody's gonna love it. But anyway, yeah, he was like, if I make sure your edges come back, you gotta make sure you gotta put it out there whatever way I tell you to in hell. And I said, okay. So I heal you and all that. I told you I couldn't walk or see. Had inflammation, infection in my brain. My jack was on fire. I could be dead. Okay? 5 times in the last 4 years. I watched the green bile canisters fill up, like 8 of them, from the stuff that was in my stomach. Like, no, baby. I know he done gave me 2 houses and 2 cars and all the same. Look, listen, I can't make this up. So I gotta tell you what he told me to tell you. Yeah, y'all are out here wilding or something. Somebody's not getting it. I don't know who this is for. Your salvation is on the line or something. Please stop picking wrong. Because God done told you what to do and you ain't out here listening because he keeps sending me out here to talk to you. Watch what you're doing. Don't get caught up with the whole boyfriend-girlfriend type of thing. Multiple women and multiple men. And y'all out here in these relationships whining and dining and intertwining and skipping and scamming. And, doing it the whole... Well, I was watching the dude, Neo. He got like freaking 4 girlfriends. And God, like, he was into certain stuff too. I'm like, dang, boy. When God changed you, though, you just start looking at life differently. I remember, let me share this. Thank you, Holy Ghost. He just brought this to me. I used to always tell boyfriend number 7. Okay, boyfriend number 7, he's in the church. Okay. Let me sip a little bit more. Ain't nothing like that good water. So look, because I'm going to end this up. I'm trying to get them to be shorter because God said we're getting ready to get short again. And then we're going to do, y'all get to get the boyfriend thing at 7. The Love Doctor series and everything. And it's been a whole 12 months. And y'all got a whole year of content. Yo, it's everywhere. So crazy. And I ain't even got to do nothing but just press a few buttons, boop, 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 and then there you go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm done. I'm like, yo, God, you really had me in training. Like, it's crazy. All the photos and everything, like, through the years. I was looking at some of them, like, yeah, when can I put that out, God? He like, not yet. It's amazing. But anyway, look, let me get there. You're picking wrong. That's basically it. Right your wrongs, get your life, get it together. Yeah, please, because I was out here like, really messed up too. I was picking not right. I was wrong and I was doing stuff at times, and it just did not get me nowhere but all wrapped up into pieces. Yeah, wrapped up into pieces. Like, seriously, wrapped up into pieces. Yeah, God was like, you better go ahead and you better put it out there for him. If I go ahead and I heal you and I make sure you straight, you're going to have to do what I tell you because they really out here, some of them is out here lost. Yeah, and picking wrong and messing with all these people and just like, and all you got to do is just seek ye first the kingdom of God. Read Matthew 6. Go get yourself a Bible and read. Spend time with God. If you spend time with God, listen, he will, You will reap what you sow. I'm trying to tell you, because we right back there. You're going to reap what you sow. So please right your wrongs or whatever. Like, look, get over yourself. Yo, stop worrying about how other people see you, because that's the only reason why you can't right your wrong. Like, especially if you're one of them type of people. You know, and I'll be praying for my mom, because my mom got issues with that. She don't know how to right her wrong and stuff about things that she's done. So like, she just like doesn't deal with it. You have to deal with things because they're going to be dealing with you because you haven't dealt with it. Yeah. And he's not a man that he's going to lie. He will not be mocked. He said, whatever you reap, you will sow. Yeah, he said, I will not be mocked. So my thing is like, look, if you don't believe nothing, you better know something. You go reap it. Just handle it. Move on. Get yourself straight. Whatever it is you got to do. And stop being out here in these crazy relationships with friends and all of that. Dealing with people on the wrong premise. Yeah, that's on my 2025 plan to win. Yeah, my delayed obedience is disobedience. Yeah, that's on my little thing that I have going up there. That's for my spiritual goals. Okay. Yeah, watch my circle and who I allow to enter my life on the wrong premise. Please, because sometimes you do that, the wrong premise. Let me break it down for you. And shout out to y'all all in the other countries that just listen to me on Just a Touch of J's radio. I love y'all. Yes, you're so talented. Zimbabwe. Yes, Madagascar. Yes. Yeah, I told y'all on the Just a Touch of J podcast. Listen, did I didn't even know it was in Madagascar. I'm not even going to lie. I ain't even going to hold you. I ain't going to lie. Yeah. I didn't know. I thought it was a cartoon. My mom was like, no, that's where your podcast is being played. See? I was like, oh, yeah, but shout out to her. You know, like I said, pray for her because sometimes people don't know how to deal with stuff. You got to be dealing with stuff, in life where it's going to deal with you. So please, all I'm saying is this. This is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm just I'm just trying to keep it 100 with you. On the wrong premise. Premise basically means, like you just doing it just to be doing it. Like, oh, I'm just with them because they pay my bills. I'm with him because, he builds my back out. I'm with her because, she got money and it looked like I got something when I'm with her or whatever. Or she just let me do whatever so I could be with her. I don't know what it is, but just on the wrong premise. Like, get you straight. Like, God just keep trying to tell me to come on here and tell y'all, get y'all straight. I don't know. I guess it's because I'm so thorough and wise and so straight. Because how can he send somebody who ain't straight to tell somebody to get straight? But I could tell you how I wasn't straight. And baby, this is Just a Touch of J's vocals. You listen to the Just a Touch of J podcast, you will find out all about that. I'm just putting it out there in pieces for you right now. So all the boyfriends is back. Yeah, all of them is back. Yep, all of them have contacted me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and God been telling me, guard your heart, watch it. The issues be flowing out of their hearts. That's why I want to try to hit you up at 4. What was it, 2 something in the morning? I was like, what? Boyfriend number 5, y'all. Boyfriend number 6 coming over. Boyfriend number, who is it? No, boyfriend number 6, he ain't do nothing wrong. He just, showed a little love. My daughter's story just was looking like, okay. But, God was like, watch, I'll make them all come back. Watch this. And I ain't believe him. And look, that all happened. I am a believer. I know what God be telling me and then it be happening. Okay? Now, look, you go ahead and play around if you want to. Or you could Google. Yeah, that's the closure joint right there. Yeah, baby, I can't wait. I'll be on here like, am I done? God be like, you done. Because seriously, look, let me tell you. Before I tell you how you can Google Just Touch J and all this other stuff. Let me tell you, I got up. Y'all, listen, my thing went off 4 o'clock. I was like, yeah, okay. I'm about to be getting it in. And God was like, no, I want you to do it like a little different. We're going to redo your workout thing. I'm like, again? He's like, yeah, because your birthday is coming. And I'm like, yeah. He said, remember you said you want to do 100 of these by the time your birthday come? I want to do these push-up things. I'm going to do 100 of them. Yeah. And God was like, so you got to redo it. And I want you to do your legs a little different and all of this. So I had to redo that. That took me like a whole hour. Then he was like, I need you to hang this up and I need that because I want you to look at this and that. He was like, and then, I'm going to get you to get everything you got to get so you can braid your hair. Yeah, I like braiding my own hair now. Like my hair is just so beautiful and so long, no chemicals, no nothing. So I'll be braiding my hair. Yeah, and I come up with all these amazing styles and stuff. So God's like, but wait till y'all see the blue wig thing, the blue hair. The blue hair. Oh, yeah, that thing's something else. Killing them. It's like so much better than the red. Yeah. But right now, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing the braid thing, and I was just getting up, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this because I changed my ab routine up to 540 abs now. So I'm like, I'm going to do these abs, and like, ooh. And, and God's like, no, he switched it up. I felt it. I felt my help coming. I was like, I got to record something. Yeah, so we skate back on over there. Yeah, God, he done healed me. He done did some stuff. He said, I need you to put it out there in pieces for him, baby. You on Just a Touch of Jay's vocals. You're going to have to go ahead and talk to him about some stuff. So I was like, all right. So now we skating on over to the end. I done told you about the whole tattoos. The reason why I told you about the tattoos is God was trying to tell me how I had love. And I had love for boyfriend number 6. And I was like, what? And God was like, yeah, y'all both loved each other. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're right. We had so much love. Yeah, like we really did. Like, yo, you wait till you get this boyfriend thing. And I'll be telling you more about boyfriend number 6. Because this is Just a Touch of Jay's vocals, baby. This ain't the podcast. Okay, for those of y'all who know about that. So, he did all of that, and God was like, you know what? Now you could close. Okay, because you done told them everything about how they need to get their life in order, how they need to right their wrongs, whatever they got going on, fix it, handle it. You told them really a little bit why you wasn't with certain ones and ones you got tattoos with. And, make sure y'all check out the cover art. Because you could see some of the ones that had came back on the cover art that I did out there for Monica. They didn't see y'all. Now they trying to get you to see them. The last Just a Touch of Jay's vocals. So check that out. And I'm just going to end it like this. Look. This is Just a Touch of Jay's vocals, baby. Yeah, yes. Yes. It's been a whole 12 months. And, you can't make nobody believe God. That's what God always tells me. He always tells me this. He be like, Monica, you can't make nobody believe God. And I be like, I know God. And he be like, but you know what you can tell him, though. And he say, this is what you can tell him. You tell him this. You could Google. Yo, you ain't got to believe nothing I just said. You could be like, that child over here talking about some tattoos, something I got to say to like, yeah, I know she's the be or whatever it is you want to say, Or perhaps, she be dropping dimes, because I know I be dropping dimes on y'all. Because listen, I pray, I be like, God, none of me, all of you, whatever you want me to say, just bring it to me. And I'm just going to go over there and I'm going to come back. And I would go back over there. Whatever you want me to say, I just say it. But he tell me, he be like, you could tell him that. You could tell him to Google Just a Touch of Jay. Yeah, see how I changed your life. You know how you was, how you are now, how you was sick and you was 99 pounds and all this stuff. But you could tell him everything you want to tell him, child. And you can't make nobody believe God. You remember that. But you could tell him. You could really tell him this. Google Just a Touch of Jay. Just a Touch of Jay's Fitness. Okay? Jay's Fit, Taylor Fit to you. Okay? Yes, that's his or her collection. The women's and the men's line. You got the waist trainers, the gloves, the heads. You got all the clothes, your weight, size, everything. I told y'all to pray about these heads. I'm finishing it. This is it. I'm done with this. Yeah, with this whole thing, with these heads. Because I got this stuff going on. I just said, you know what, this is it. I can't, make a decision. But keep on praying for me about that. Yeah, but you could Google that. You could Google these podcast topics. You could Google the fact that I'm online host for Pastor Mike Jr., one of the biggest gospel stars in the whole entire United States, world, or whatever God wanted him to be. But he out there. Yeah, and he's an amazing pastor. I just put something on my Facebook page about him preaching the other day. He been dropping dimes. Wait till his Bible study comes back. Y'all gonna get these pieces. And shout out to my online Bible study. Yeah, it's a whole 100 Bible studies. Y'all gonna love them. They just so thorough and wide. It'll be on the Just a Touch of J app. And I know y'all made it app of the day. And you know what? What's so crazy is shout out to y'all for this. I'm putting the stats out there. Okay, I got it all set up for y'all so I can go off and everything. It's the stats about thank you, God. It's the steps about how my podcast has gone up. Yeah, like my mobile app allows me to see how many views and stuff. People like actually looking at it. And y'all got it like 20,000, 11,000, 10,000. I'm like, damn, what is y'all on here doing? 40, 50,000. I mean, it was like that before, but like I ain't did nothing in the whole 12 months. Shout out to Dave East for that song. I'm going to be putting that out there on Just a Touch of J's Radio. Y'all about to get that. Yeah, Dave East and Nipsey Hussle. But you could Google Just a Touch of J's Radio. Just a Touch of J podcast. Yeah, the Just a Touch of J fitness app for those of y'all who know about that. Yeah, because people who I train, only certain people, got that right now. So y'all doing good, with that. Just a Touch of J's the 400. That's my 400 fitness thing that I did for y'all. Yeah. You could do that. Just a Touch of J's cannabis. Yeah, all you need is Just a Touch of J, the cannabis paper, ask Just a Touch of J. That's a new one. Y'all out here wilding. I went on there. I got the stats. I said, they asked who is Just a Touch of J. And I said, oh, yeah, I forgot. I told you all that on the Just a Touch of J podcast. That's coming to the app. Yeah. And then, child, Tell Your Business Tuesdays. Yeah, like I got this thing on here on Tuesdays. It's like a little something that I'm putting out there in pieces for y'all. Transparent, Tell Your Business Tuesdays. Yeah. Woo, child. I'm trying to tell you, it's so much going on. But you could Google, ask Just a Touch of J. You can Google Just a Touch of J's undies. Okay, and they just so comfortable. Yeah, so comfortable. Yeah, Just a Touch of J's undies. The Taj Podcast Network. I mean, it's just a touch of J's quotes, just a touch of J's scriptures. Okay, just a touch of J's prayers, just a touch of J, I heard God say. Okay, just a touch of J _ okay, then another _ just a touch of J's, boyfriend thing, my boyfriend thing. Check it out up in the descriptions. It's all there. You could Google all of that stuff. Yeah, I don't got to tell you nothing. Yeah, you could just see like, oh, well, apparently, through all these pieces, Make a Love V's Kitchen. Oh, I've been making so much Love and V's Kitchen with these recipes. Recipes from God. Like, it's so much. I've been cooking so much. Now I'm trying to figure out different ways to cook the things that I've already cooked. That's how much I've been cooking. Baby, mama been baking too. And you know what happens when I start baking. The love start coming out. I was in there lighting incense the other day, listening to, come on and go with me. Don't. Come on over to my place. Oh my God. You had me listening to that thing. I was like, stop it. Avant My First Love with Kiki Wyatt. I was like, man, God, you over here. It's just me and you. You over here setting things off and stuff. God, like, I'm trying to hook you up. So be easy. I'm trying to show you. Yeah. I'm just trying to show you that you can Google. Yeah, man. You can really, really Google. Yeah, Just a Touch of J, baby. Yeah, because this ain't the podcast. This is Just a Touch of J's vocals. I think that's all I got to say to you. I don't think it's nothing else. He had me come on here and do all of that. Because I was like, why I got to say all that? But he was trying, because I kept saying, I feel my help coming. I'm like, but how am I supposed to be talking about it? I'm ready to work out. Like, I had this whole thing set up that it was going to be totally different than it is right now for the day. But he said, I know what the plans that I have for you. That's what he told me. And he was like, yeah, you got to go in there and talk to him. I'm like, about what? He was just like, the tattoos. I'm like, what about the tattoos? And the tattoos had me start thinking, and he was showing me, boyfriend number 6. He said, that's the first one. And I'm like, well, I'm about to record a boyfriend thing. He like, no, you ain't about to do that, but you about to talk about it. And he was like, y'all really loved each other, but y'all had this sexual thing. And I was just like, yeah. He was like, but you get like that. And then you start getting out of control and stuff when you don't get yourself together. And I told y'all, I used to tell him, like, no, I want to get married one day. This is not what I want. I don't want to be doing this no more. Like, no, we can't be doing this. Like I had to really like say no. Because this was something else. This was turning into something else. And I told you I was addicted to pornography before. And, and sex and all that type of stuff, because I don't know nothing about no regular sex. I'll tell you all the time. On Just Touch Day podcast, we going to have to do something extravagant, like hang me from the ceiling. Like I got to have a whole sexual, like, it's just what it is. You know what I mean? I just don't know. I wasn't made that way. God didn't make me like that. He told me, he's like, your husband ain't going to be like that neither. But that is one reason why I was like, well, boyfriend number 6, could it possibly be? But I knew it couldn't be. And that's how I knew with other people. Yeah, wait till y'all get this. Because, we got to touch base on the sex thing about all of them. Yeah, I did that last year a little bit. Go back and check it out with Just Touch Day podcast when I introduced them. But we brought to dig in really deep on why I'm not with these people and why I did certain things and things like that. This is really, really good. This is going to help you so you don't mess up and do stuff like I did. You don't get caught out there with your pieces. You know what I'm saying? But I felt all this stuff, along the way. And I would tell him, like, I can't be doing this, stuff like that. We can't be doing it. So, but going through all this got me, say, you got tattoos with these ones and some you don't, some you do. And these are why. This is why. I'm closing. Okay? This is why. You only got some of them. Some of them you got like this. And one you got that had like a memory thing. The love, that all that stuff was different. It's a lot of different type of loves out here. Phileo love, agape love, just different type of thing. We're going to touch base on that too. I gave that to y'all before, but I'm going to give it to you a little bit more again on the Just a Touch of Day podcast. Okay? But yeah, God was just showing me. He was like, it was definitely some type of love there, but it was because, he didn't have the faith and belief that you did. So you already knew no. So you had these reasons on why you got these tattoos with people. Okay? He's like, I need you to go in there and tell them you start doing stuff. You start acting crazy like these girls used to be calling you up and, all type of stuff like that. Looking for him and, boyfriend number 10 because he had women. All type of stuff. I love my life, y'all. Remember I tell you that all the time? I don't know how I'm going to talk about this man. It had can't nobody make me stop loving him. Every time I talk about him, I be getting choked up. Y'all want me to sip on some water real quick if I end it? Hold on. Yeah, because some of y'all let me know y'all like it when I sip on this water. Yeah. Ain't nothing like that good water. Yo. And knowing who you are. Yeah, and I'm just so glad that God just changed my life around, and I know who I am now. I'm going to be out here fronting and stunning, acting like I'm something that I'm not, and all that other type of stuff, painting a picture. I remember my daughter told me that. She's like, Mommy, one day you won't have to paint a picture no more. And I said, you're right about that. And that stuck with me. Yeah, that stuck with me. Because I was like, I got to get my life together. And that's all I'm on here trying to tell you to do. Like, yo, it's normal. It's regular. Sometimes you be doing stuff. You be out here messed up. Sometimes you can't get your direction together. And I'm like, look, this is how you get it together. You spend some time with God. You get a relationship with God. You understand that Jesus Christ really died on the cross for your sins. Please don't make me pray and speak in tongues. Okay? Because that's coming. I'll be doing that on Just Touch Day podcast, baby. All right? They got hip hop on there, speaking in tongues. Music got it made. All type of stuff. Thing is style and wise. Okay? But I guess I could close it with this. All the boyfriends are back, so that's coming. I done introduced y'all to everything. I done sipped on the water. I done told you, everything I'm supposed to tell you. I think it's about 4 episodes y'all about to get. Just to Touch Jay's vocals. This should be the last one. Or the 3rd one. Yeah, because I just been recording them. And God been like, set it up like this. Boom, 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 boom. So you're just going to be getting them. They're making love East Kitchen. Yo, that's so thorough and dope. Like, how it's going to come out is just so thorough. God's like, watch. Because I kept saying, why do you keep wanting me to do all this stuff? Like, when can I put it out there? Like, the months was just going by. I'm like, it's been like 6 months. Like, oh, I'm all over here falling apart. He like, just keep doing it like this. Then he showed me. He's like, now this is how I go. I was like, oh, that's just thorough. I'm like, why am I dating this again? Put the date on it, Ronica. So that's like I'll be talking to me. Yo. And I just be like a spoiled little kid, like, oh my God. Okay. And then he just blessed me with something, do something crazy. And I'll be like, I gotta keep doing what you tell me to do. Yeah, so please do it, okay? Stop acting crazy and out here picking wrong, because he said they out there picking wrong. They out here messing with these people they ain't supposed to be messing with, getting their lives all messed up. And you know you got to talk about it on a Love Doctor series now. And I'm like, so this is just a touch of Jay's vocals, baby. Okay. This ain't the podcast. All right. I told you that you could Google all this stuff. All right. So make sure you do it. Find out what you need to find. Get what you got to get. Okay. Everything is coming. It's all set up. You see it. Check it out. I love y'all. I miss y'all. Okay. Now let me close. You could Google. Yeah. You could Google. Just a touch of J. Wait a minute, I don't like that. Let me say it again. Just a touch of J.